Hi everyone, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio. Happy Hump Day! It is raining here today, and so it's a great day for crafting. And we are going to work in the Marie Antoinette journal today. I am bound and determined to get it done today. So, I've kind of gotten the ideas for the remaining pages in my mind and kind of stuck everything in the pages. So I'm going to go through and do as many of those as I can and then finish it up off camera so that I can move on to the next one. Let's see. First, what is this journal? This journal is for hashtag JJ Madness, which is hosted by Susan at I Totally Love It. Each month she has a guest collaborator, and this month's collaborator is Nancy with Wishes and Weeds. And Nancy gave Susan 6 different themes for a journal at the beginning of the month, and Susan put them in her little magic spinner, and the one that it came up with was Marie Antoinette. So that's what we're working on. She also rolls a die to come up with the number of materials you're to use and the number of makes for each journal. And this month we're at 8 materials and 10 makes. I've got the 8 materials well taken care of. And the 10 makes will be taken care of by the time I finish the journal. Actually, probably double that. So I'm not worried about meeting the minimum requirements. And I did not think when I started this journal that I would enjoy it. But I have to say that I have come to love this little journal. I'm usually a grungy girl, and so this one is not what I usually make, but I am enjoying it, so that's a good thing. I'm using 2 kits mainly in this journal. One of them is called The Walls of Versailles, which is by Ambry Designs & Co. on Etsy. And the other one is called Marie Antoinette Journal Kit, and it is by Medieval Mirage, also on Etsy. So it is a 2 signature journal, and I already have my signatures sewn in, and I did sew them as a floating spine. And what else? Oh, I decoupaged the outside with some decoupage paper. And this overall, and it's an old book cover, is what I have used to make this journal. And it is going to be about 5.5 by almost 8. Yeah, we'll say 8. And the spine is about an inch. It's almost 1.5 inches. So it's a pretty good sized journal. It feels good in the hands. Right now it's kind of stuffed because I have you know, all the little pieces for the pages stuck in the pages that I haven't done. I went through half of the pages and I put trim on the edges, as you can see. And then I've done a couple videos and we've, you know, made some of these pages together. This is a pocket that I put some dried hydrangeas on, and it has a tag with a little blingy kind of little charm on it, and it's a big tag from the kit. These are the Walls of Versailles papers. I use those for the actual journal papers in here. I think they're really pretty, and being, having visited Versailles, yeah, it's very much representative of what you see on the walls there. So this is the first layout we're going to do, so we're just going to get started and work through as many of these pages as we can. There's something a little bit different. You saw me make this the other day in the I Saw It on Pinterest video, and it has a little belly band here with a journaling card. So as I flip through, you're going to see some stuff that we've done previously. And then, of course, when I get done, we will flip through the whole thing. So for this page, I have some flat lace. And this is what it looks like. And I'm pretty sure that I got this quite a few years ago from Hobby Lobby in the wedding section, when it was 50% off or whatever. And I've had it forever. There's quite a lot on the roll. So, and you can, they had this color, and then they had a more taupey color. And I've used all the more taupey color, but you can coffee dye this or tea dye it if it's too white for you. It's actually an ivory color. But yeah, it comes in real handy when you need something, you want something lacy and it doesn't have, cause a lot of bulk in your journal. You know, not that I care about bulk much anyway, because it always seems like that I'm going to have bulk. And then I found this blue envelope in my stash. Probably picked up at a thrift store somewhere with some cards or stationery or something. But I thought it went really well with this. And my idea is to put this lace in the background and make this a lacy envelope. And then I want to put this from Medieval Mirages kit on here. And this little bling that's also from the Medieval Mirage kit. And I want to make this into a tuck. See what side will it go on, and put it here so that I can put the flap of the envelope in there to hold it on, if that makes sense. And then I just have this little, it's like a letter or a receipt or something like that from a digital, French digital. And I printed it on the newsprint, so it has a really cool feel. And the fold lines are already in the paper. They were on the digital. And I'm just messy folding it, and that's going to go in the envelope. So let's do this one first. And like I said, we'll just move through as many of these layouts as we can get through. I'm going to ink this envelope up a little bit on the edges make it look like it has a little bit more age than it does. So I hope everyone is doing well. Like I said, it is raining here today, but that's okay. I've had my cinnamon raisin English muffins this morning, and so I'm ready to go. Ready to do some crafting. Alright, so if I mount this, I want to be sure and mount it far enough over that I can get my envelope in there. I may want to do it this way. It might be easier to go that way. And I want to be sure that I glue it just on the very end so I have enough room for that to slide in there. So let's do it about, wait, I want to make sure it's not going to hang off the page. Yeah, let's do it about right here. And like I said, I'm just going to do just the very ends of it. And I'll just back this with some book page so that it would have just a little bit of extra strength because I just printed it on regular printer paper. If you wanted to, you could print them on cardstock and you wouldn't have to back them probably. Alright, so that's that in place. Now we're going to put our lace on here. And I don't think I'm going to glue it down except underneath where this is going to go, because I don't want any glue showing or anything like that. So I'm going to kind of figure out. So if I go in about a 1/2 inch all the way around and put my glue, I'm going to use glue stick. So let's go in about that far. Just enough to hold it down until I put the other piece on top. So that's going to go there, and then I'm going to put Fabri-Tac on the back of this one. Now, I did take my gold Sharpie and draw like a frame around this so it looked more frame, and also to bring in this kind of goldy over here. So, get my Fabri-Tac. Kind of put that on here. And I think this will work to hold the lace down good enough. I don't care if the edges are glued down. Put this on here. Just like that. So those of you that are participating, are you liking this theme? Is it making you step outside your box a little bit? Or is this kind of journaling you normally do? I'm normally not this frilly. But like I said, I am enjoying it. One thing this challenge has done is it has made me step outside my box a little bit with some of these themes, because they're journals that I would have probably not made. I thought about putting it there, but I don't want it to overhang. I think I'll put it here. And then what I'll do is when I go back to do my stamping at the end, I'll put something in that box so it doesn't look just empty. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome. I'm glad you're here. And I really appreciate you coming over to check it out. And I hope you will subscribe for future videos. And if you are new, I use 3 different types of glue in journaling. I use the art glitter glue, which is paper to paper. And when I want something to be securely bound, I use the art glitter glue. It does grab very quickly though, so you need to be sure that you know where you're going to put something, and because once it's done, it's done. Oh, I need to ink this flap. I used Fabri-Tac or 3-in-1 glue. They're basically the same. And that is for gluing fabrics. Or I also use it to glue buttons and things like that into journals because, oh, let me put my letter in here, because it seems to have a better bond than the art glitter glue does. To me, the art glitter glue, now, I will say that art glitter glue will glue fabric, but it takes a while for it to dry, and the Fabri-Tac just grabs quicker. So, I use that. So, there is that page layout. And then I use a Pritt Stick glue stick. I've tried several. It's my favorite. It seems to hold up. I still have things that I made when I first started junk journaling, and I saw a lot of people were using this one. And so I tried this one. I tried the Yoo-Hoo, and I also tried one other one, and I can't even remember what it was called. And this one is my favorite. So that's what I use. And everybody has their own glue preference. I just wanted to tell you what I used and why, in case you were new and you're new to journaling and you know, you need an opinion on something like that. But like I said, everybody has their preferences. Okay, so next page is this one, and for this one I have this postcard that I originally made for I think I made this for the hashtag ABCJLC challenge, and it is a napkin covered postcard or index card, and it just happens to say Paris on it, and I thought the gold and the flowers and everything went well with this journal, and also I thought it went really well with this tag. So that's what we're going to use on this side. Again, I'm going to, oh, it looks like I've already inked this tag. I don't think I have, though. Who knows? You can never have too much ink, though. So I'm going to ink around that. I'm not going to do anything else to it except maybe add some, oh, you know what I could do is I could add a grommet and add, I found 3 keys that I thought were appropriate for this journal. Little key charms that I've got here in my basket. This is my little working basket for this kit. It's just a little Dollar Tree basket. I think you get like 3 of them for $1. I don't know how much they are now. Probably, if they even have them. I've had them. I got them when I first started journaling. So, if they're still available, they were $1 then. They may be $1.25 now. I understand that they have gone up to $1.25. Again, I haven't been in a Dollar Tree in forever either. So, I'm retired now, so I don't do much shopping anymore. I have tons of supplies, and the ones that have to be renewable, like my glues and stuff like that, I usually get off Amazon. So most of the shopping that I do is vintage and thrift stores. Now, I very rarely go into any kind of box store or anything like that. I just don't have the need to. You know, I don't have to dress for work anymore, so I'm not constantly trying to keep my wardrobe updated, which I'm telling you is really nice. To not have to do that. Not that I didn't love clothes shopping. I did. But, you know, how many clothes do you wear in retirement? So, it's very different, I think, what you need or think you need or whatever when, you know, you're dressing pretty much casual every day. And the way I look at it is, if I do have something coming up that I need something dressier or whatever, then I have an excuse to go shopping then, right? And plus, you know, it's going to be more updated, and it's going to be something that I enjoy wearing, not something that's been sitting in my closet for a couple years because I'm retired and I don't have to dress up anymore. So it's just a good excuse to shop. Then I'm looking for a grommet. I hate these. I never can get these in good because they're cheap. They're not We Are Memory Keepers. They're cheap, and they don't ever seem to squish right. But we're going to try it because that's the one that matches. Alright, now which of these keys do we want? This one looks like a, what are those things called? You know, that they hold up when they're royalty. That's what that one is. And then this one has a crown on top of it. And then I thought this one looked kind of royal and also had kind of a French scrolly look to it. So, what do we want? I kind of like the one with the little rounded thing on it. And I'm sorry, I can't think of the word that I'm looking for right now for that, for what that's called. Alright, so let's see if we can do this thing. Alright, where'd my grommet go? There it is. Oops. I just flung it. I just flung it somewhere. Alright, we'll get another one. I don't think my hole's quite big enough. I don't want to poke it too big though, because then it'll go through. Let me take my awl and make it just a little bit. No, my awl's not going to work. I'm afraid a pencil's going to make it too big. Maybe we'll just do it just a tad. Okay, let's see if we can get it in there now. There we go. All right, now that's half the battle. Now let's see if we can get it to smush. I think the issue is that the size that these are, because, you know, somebody didn't pay attention when they were ordering, is not made for the crocodile. So what happens is the bottom part, you know, that smushes it flat, doesn't fit well. It's kind of like an in-between size. I think that'll work. I'll probably need to hit it. Let me hit it with the hammer. We're going to make it work. This is my little, it's an upholstery hammer. This end has rubber, so you don't hurt the wood. And then this end has the brass tip. So we're going to hit it. Sorry for the banging. See if we can make it a little flatter. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Now we will put our key on here. And have a little dangly. Just like that. And then that'll match this hardware on this book plate and stuff. So that'll tie it together. Now, where I put that hardware on there, I did put some washi tape on there just so when my tag's sliding in and out that it won't get caught. And again, I'm going to use art glitter glue because it's paper to paper. Glue that right down here at the bottom. And then this tag will go right down in there. I'm not going to put it all the way, excuse me, down in there because I don't want it to get stuck. Okay, on this side, what we're going to do is we are going to make a belly band. And again, this is from the kit. So I'm going to ink around that. glue that down. And then this photo is also from the kit. If I can get my pen back in here. And I mean, I'm going to use that to kind of embellish the belly band and to cover up that Eiffel Tower, because I think the Eiffel Tower was much later than Marie Antoinette, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to cover that up. And I think I'm going to use the decal trimmer and trim around that. And this thing does make a lot of noise, so I apologize in advance. It's very noisy cutter. I love the effect, though. It's kind of the same as when you tear with your tear ruler. But I prefer to use the trimmer when I'm trimming something that you're just taking a little bit off of, because it's really hard, or it's really hard for me. You guys may not have the issue that I have with it, to use the tear ruler to tear off little bitty skinny strips. So, and I'm just inking those parts that are really white and making them look a little bit more vintage. And then we're going to put that on there. And I'm actually going to turn it over this way. No, actually, I was going to mark it on the back of the photo, but I think I'm going to mark it just here on the belly band. And then put my glue I can't see either one of those. Okay, there's that one. Let me mark it on this side. Okay, so my glue is going to go here. Oops, stay on the belly band. Okay, and then center that. And there we go. So there's that one. Where'd my pen go? There it is. And again, I have another French digital printed on newsprint. And I've just folded it and inked it up. And we're going to stick that behind the belly band, just like that. Okay, that's two. I should be able to move this down in there now. Okay, what do we... Oh, I guess it is all the way down in there. Okay. Moving on to the next one. This is what I did the other day I saw it on Pinterest. It looks really cute in the journal. So this is the next one. So what we're going to do for this one is we're going to do a hidden paper clip. We're going to do a journal card. And we're going to make a little pocket with some little things to stick in it. And then on this side, I'm going to use the black frame that I thought I was originally going to use for the cover. And I'm going to put it on this side, and I'm going to put this picture inside. And I know it doesn't fit, and I'm okay with that. I'm doing it intentionally that way. So, let's put that down first so that can be drying. Where's my glue go? I'm going to put this part down with glue stick. I'm actually going to show you two different ways to do hidden paper clip. Because I'm using one on another page as well, but I'm using two different methods. Both have the same result, basically. But the two methods are based on what I'm using. Alright. And then this will go on top of there, like that. So I'm going to put that down with our glitter glue. And this just adds another layer. It's not necessary. That looks just fine. But I like multi-layers. So we're going to do this. And try to get it even. And somewhat straight. Hold that for just a second. Like I said, art glitter glue binds very quickly. Hidden paper clip. Now, a hidden paper clip is another thing that I use Fabri-Tac on because I feel like it's strong enough to hold the paper clip. Okay, so this is one of the belly bands or tags or whatever you want to call it in the kit, and I have backed it with some book page to make it a little stronger, and then I have folded it in half. So this is going to become my paper clip. And then I have taken a piece of cardstock, I have folded that in half and put my paper clip on there, just like that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Fabri-Tac on both sides of this. And then I'm going to stick it in here and close this shut. Okay? So that's going to make my hidden paper clip. So let's put our Fabri-Tac on here. And I kind of just wiggle it across the paper clip as well. And of course I have it on my fingers because Fabri-Tac hates me. And just go back and forth across the paper clip and then around the edges good. And then we're going to mount it right down in here in the center the best that we can. And then close this up. And then I'm going to clamp that while we work on, where's my big clamp? Here it is. While we work on some of the journal cards. So we can be sure that it's going to get closed down well on the sides. Just like that. I'm going to set it over here. Okay, so now we have our journal card put together, which the front and back are both in the kit. So I'm going to use some glue stick and just glue the front to the back. Again, I just printed this on regular printer paper. If you wanted something more sturdy, you could print it on cardstock. But if you do, 2 pieces of cardstock may be too thick for you. So that's something to think about when you're printing. You may want to print one on cardstock and one on regular copy paper, although I think they're on the same 8.5 by 11 sheet. So trying to get this on there straight. I'm sure I'll still have to trim it a little bit. Okay, and then I'll trim the edges, but give me just a second to get that stupid Fabri-Tac off my fingers, because I can't do anything because everything's sticking. Ugh. Okay. Now, straighten this up. Now you could round the corners if you wanted, but I think on this particular card it would look weird. But it's perfectly okay if you're doing a journal card to round your corners if you want to. Alright, that looks pretty good, so let's ink around that. Not with that dauber. Just a quick ink. Why do I ink? Couple reasons. One is usually when I'm working on something, like I said before, it's either grungy or vintage. I don't do anything modern or new or anything like that. So I just think it gives a better vintage look. And two, when you've hand cut something, or even if you've cut it with a trimmer, you have that white edge. And I just don't like the way that that makes that look like you've cut something out of a piece of paper. I feel like the ink does a really good job of blending it and making it look more, you know, like you've not just glued and paste something, or cut and paste something on your different pieces. Alright, so we'll put that little image of Marie right there. And then we have a good journaling card on the back. And then these are 2 little pictures from the kit that I think were made to cut out individually, but I left them together. Kind of like if she had access to a photo booth back then and went in and, you know, put her little Frank in there and had a picture strip come out. And then this little corner pocket is from the kit. And I'm going to kind of use it to make a pocket and a tuck. So this is another piece of the kit that I am actually going to glue the pocket onto. So I'm going to take the pocket and wrap the little gusset pieces around it like that. And then it's going to be a tuck. So there's going to be a little pocket here, and it's going to be a tuck here. So I'm going to glue the flap, like I said, to the back here. And a little bit down here. So, I was probably off camera then. I glued it here and that little bit right there. And then as far as the page goes, I'm going to glue it here and here. So now I will run the glue. My bottle's about empty. I need a refill. Here and here, just like that, and glue that down. So now what we have is we have a pocket here for that little card and my little photos here, and then this bigger card will go back here along with another little digital piece that will go here. Now let's check on our paper clip. Get this back out of the way. And then our paper clip, yep, it's dry, can go wherever we want it to go. It can go this way, it can go this way, it can go this way, however we decide we want it. For the time being, I'm going to put it up here. What's on this other side? Nothing. Okay, so for the time being, I'm going to put it up here. And I may find something that I want to clip under that. And then I have this little piece of crochet work that has some gold in it. And I also have this little piece of lace. And I'm going to put it on the top of this journal card. Just like that. And I'm just going to staple it with my tiny attacher. It may take, oh, because that'll cover her up. So for now, we're going to leave it like that. Now, let me check my time, see how much I've been gabbing. Okay, we might have time for one more. Depending on how well I have it laid out. Okay, here we have just side tack with the card. And then this is between the two signatures. We have a double pocket with a card on each side. And I just kind of made them mirror each other, so they're very similar on both sides. Alright, so this is the next one. This one is a belly band that goes this way. And we have an envelope from the kit, which is kind of like a tall bank envelope, but it has a very interesting topper to it. So, we're going to glue this together. First of all, I need to ink the inside of that flap. Alright, and then on the envelope, I want to put her. I'm trying to remember how I did this. Yeah, I'm going to put her, and I want to put this little fancy monogram. Again, I'm going to use just my glue stick on this part. Glue glob. Put that down there. Flip my glue page over. Since I had a glue glob, I don't want it to ruin the front of my piece. Okay, and then this is a piece of that same paper. Of course, these papers were 8.5 by 11, and since my book is only about 8 inches altogether, I have these little scrap pieces, and that's what I'm making my belly band out of. So the first thing I'm going to do, because this is just printer paper, is I'm going to glue it to a piece of this book page over here and reinforce it a little bit. And again, you can use cardstock to do this if you don't feel like the two pieces are strong enough. But with it just having that envelope in there, I think it's going to be fine. Okay, let me check my width. Okay, it needs to be cut about right there. So we'll just fold it over. Okay, glue that down. Now I want it to be low enough that it's not covering her face. So I'm not really concerned with if it's in the exact middle of the page or not. I'm more concerned about it not covering her up when the envelope is in there. And then this is also from the kit, and I'm going to put it just kind of like a little extra decorative piece right in the center. And then I have this little bitty bow that I tied just out of some little satin ribbon that's blue. And I'm going to put Fabri-Tac on the back of that. And I'm going to put it right here. I don't know if my clamp will reach that far or not. It might. Not really. Maybe my pink one will. I can bend that in just a little bit. I just want a little bit of weight on that for a minute. Okay, so there's that one. Real cute little belly band for this envelope. Now, as of right now, I'm not planning on putting a closure on the back of that envelope. And I do have another postcard that I'm going to stick in there. And I also have this folded up French letter. And it's going to go in the envelope. And the postcard's just going to go behind the belly band as well. Sticking out more this way. I'll show you. I'll take this off and show you. So it's going to be more on this side where you can see that it says postcard, or you can see part of it. Let's put this back on there for just a little bit until I know that's good and dry. And then, like I said, this piece will fold up and go in the envelope. So that's as far as we're going to get in this video. I think that leaves me 2 pages undone. One there. Maybe just one. Maybe just one more. So, nope, 2 more. So we did pretty good. So I'm going to finish those 2 pages up. And then, like always, I'll flip through it and see where I need my stamping. Get that done. Do any final touches, like making sure all of my pockets and envelopes have something in them. And this one will be a wrap. So thanks for joining me, guys, and I hope you have enjoyed the challenge this month if you're doing it. Again, if you're interested in joining in, if you tune in to Susan's channel, I totally love it, on YouTube on the first of the month. That's where she spins for, you know, the different themes. She'll announce the guest collaborator and tell you how many makes and how many materials to use. And then you can make your own journal to go with whatever the theme is for the month. It's lots of fun. She does not do one in December, I don't think. I'm pretty sure she doesn't in December. And she may not in November either. But last call, she still had a couple of months open for guest collaborators for next year. Excuse me. So if you're interested in doing that, reach out to her and let her know, and she will give you the details and let you know for sure if she has some months left. I know that she did in the last video that I watched, but I am behind. So thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Everybody have a great day. Bye.